And we are live here. We have fun. Round number 13 here in Brazil, Interlagos. It is a sunny qualifying, at least to begin with. It doesn't look like it will be raining during this session. Just want to make sure the sound is okay, so when a car comes on track, it'd be nice to hear. It'd be nice to hear some feedback. Yeah, that'd be ideal. But I believe it's set up okay, as we've got one of the Kick Saubers out on track, which is either Ollie J or Ultra Titan exiting the pit lane, and it is Ollie J. He is exiting the pit lane. 17 minutes to go in this session. Arrow has a qualifying ban, which at least gives somebody a chance to qualify in 10th place with only 11 drivers competing today. As Ollie J, first one out on track today. He is closely followed, well I say closely, it's not very closely, followed by JG in the McLaren and his teammate Ultra Titan, who's also heading down the one of the back straights here at Interlagos. This Ollie J, going to get ready to begin his first flying lap of Brazil. And here comes Ollie J in the Kick Sauber. DRS wide open at the rear of his Kick Sauber, heading down into turn 1. Keep an eye on the Kick driver, as there's a bit of smoke coming from his vehicle. DRS overtake enabled. Heading now with some traffic on exit, but they are going to stay well out of the way, is the Williams of F1 Mallard. As the first sector, 16.986. JG only just starting a lap. Ultra Titan followed close, as Ollie J is now going to fly through the middle sector. See what he can do. One of the top 5 runners, should I say? I don't know if that's harsh or kind to Ollie. As we head now down into the final couple of corners with a bit of battery saved to be enabled and used. As you can see, the overtake button has been enabled, heading down towards the start-finish line, and heading down the start-finish straight as well. What's he going to do? The first lap of the session is a 1:08.145. And we're going to quickly dive on board with the McLaren, who saved a lot more battery heading down to the start-finish straight. That's interesting. Heading down the start-finish straight, the battery save from JG is more significant. We'll see what his lap time's going to be. He may have saved a little bit. No, he hasn't. He saved a perfect amount. It's only a 1:08.499 for the McLaren. Next across the line is going to be Ultra Titan, also not using, not saving too much of the battery for the start-finish straight. It's 1:08.563 for him. Tycler on an outlap is next across the line, but the actual next one on a lap to cross the line is Grabinho down in P11. He will take himself up from P11 to P4 as it stands, 1:09.581. As it's going to be a Red Bull, it's going to be Cookie. He is the one to beat, and is he going to be beating Ollie's time? He will do. 0.3 of a second between them. 1:07.868 there for the Red Bull driver. Next across the line, F1 Mallard in the Williams. What's he going to do in that Williams car? P5 at the moment, 1:08.664. So the mid 1:08 seems to be a bit of a happy medium between all of the drivers. Obviously, Ollie just about separating that his time towards the rest of the group. As we have a Kick Sauber to cross the line. I think that's Ultra Titan, who's not on a lap. He's either on an in-lap. Yeah, he is on an in-lap, I'd assume. Yeah, he's boxing now. We've got a Ferrari Tycler. He'll be on an in-lap. Actually, no, he's not on an in-lap. He's on mediums. So that's interesting. He's on a set of mediums, just having a bit of practice there. 1:09.886, not representative between the other drivers. We also have Cookie, who is on his in-lap. We've got an Alpine of Grabinho on his in-lap as well. Mallard also on his in-lap. The Mercedes of the lanky one, is on a lap. We'll go on board with him now, heading down through the final couple of corners. See what he can do as he heads down the start-finish straight now to finish his lap. He sets a 108.775, slots into P6. And only three drivers, I should say, not to set a lap. It is Arrow, Cod, and Raptor. And let's just have a look at the chat. Sorry, I had to close that one off. If Ollie wins and Cookie DNFs, Ollie will be champion. Well, that's very interesting, actually, because Cookie seems to be dominant. And clearly, obviously, missed a couple of races. It has brought Ollie right back into the championship fight. Operation Takeout Cookie is a go, according to God. Hopefully we do not see that come the race. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone on a flying lap? We're going to keep an eye on Grabinho. He's just started. No, he's actually. Has he just started? No, he couldn't have started his lap because he does not have the battery. Ollie has just started a lap heading down into turn 1. We'll go on board with the Kick Sauber. See how he takes. Beautiful first couple of corners there. He takes them okay. And we'll see what his first sector time is compared to his previous one. It is 4/10 down, so he clearly did not like the look of that lap and backed off. As you can see, he's only a medium ERS. Interesting, definitely interesting, but we'll keep an eye on that as JG is also on a lap. Sets purple first sector according to the game map, at least. McLaren driver. Now, through the middle sector, he dives into first right-hander, then the sweeping left-hander here at Interlagos. See what he can do with definitely saving the battery for the final straight. Seems like there's a couple of different ERS strategies going on, but this is one of them. We save the battery and then deploy it all to the line. Definitely use a little bit, obviously, of overtake, but see, look, he can just absolutely abuse the overtake button as we head down the start-finish straight down. See, that battery is now being depleted. He is going to set a 107.854 by 1/100th of a second. JG beats Cookie, and as it stands in P1 with 10 minutes to go of the session. Anybody else on a lap? That's Cookie on a lap, who sets an identical first sector time. Identical, nothing between his first lap and this second lap as it stands. He flies through these multiple corners here, but the downforce of this Red Bull as well on display. So you can just see how he takes the beautiful corners around this track. Ahead of him, is he going to get a slipstream from one of the Kick Saubers? That'd be devastating for Kick, but yeah, he is. He's got a clear slipstream from the Kick Sauber, and I believe that's Ollie, or no, Titan. Yeah, Ollie is Ollie, who I think he was actually planning to give a slipstream for some reason, but it is a 107.486 there, 4/10 between him and JG in second. Ollie's not on a lap, Mallard is not on a representative lap, and everybody else on out laps. Just keep an eye on any drivers who are on a lap. Ultra Titan, 4/10 up into the middle. I think that was the first sector time, maybe the middle sector. But he's definitely up on his previous lap time, so we'll keep an eye on the Kick Sauber as we go on board. Heading down into the tricky right-hander here of the Kick Sauber here. Heading down the start-finish straight. Let's see what he can do. Heading down the start-finish straight. What's he going to do? Is he going to beat Cookie? Is he going to beat Cookie? The answer to that, absolutely not. He sets a 108.094 to slot into third place, ahead of his teammate. As it stands, who's not on a representative lap himself. Anybody else on a representative lap? We have the lanky one, only 300ths down on his middle sector, but he has saved the battery, and he's absolutely deploying. Down the start-finish straight we go with the Mercedes driver. What can he do now as he crosses the line very shortly? It's a 108.518, and that's going to slot him into P6 as it stands. Grabinho on a lap, but there's a Kick Sauber of Ollie's not on a lap, not on a representative lap. Lanky one, it's not him. Supply Raptor, 2 seconds up on his previous lap time. Wasn't representative from the Mercedes, the other Mercedes, the American. As he's going to cross the line, is he going to get anywhere near Cloud? Near Cookie, Cloud. It's not last season, unfortunately, but it is a 107.250 for Supply Raptor. In that Mercedes, just about 0.2 of a second ahead of Cookie, and that was, I think, another driver. I think that was maybe Grabinho, Ty Clear setting a 108.958, and Grabinho setting a 108.722 as well. Don't know where I got Cloud from. Yeah. So, I don't think anybody else is on a representative lap. No, he's not. Ty Clear is not on representative lap either. Arrow retires from the session as he has a qualifying ban. So, well done to Arrow for following his own rules. Ty Clear is going to hop and jump into the pit lane here. Supply Raptor will do the same, I believe, and so should Ollie J. As, yeah, he heads into the pit lane. We also have Grabinho, who should also be heading into that pit lane. Actually, he does have 4 laps of fuel in his Alpine, so he may be getting ready to start a flying lap, which I believe he is, because he's trying to get the battery level back to normal, which he's not able to do, unfortunately, as it stands. As he's in hot lap, he has already lost a little bit of battery. We'll go on board with the Alpine driver as he begins another flying lap, as he did decide to do multiple with the fuel levels. He's got enough to do a run and then a cooldown and another run again. Bit of a moment heading down into turn number 2. As we see the Alpine driver now heading down to turn 4. He's definitely backed out of that one. Not surprised. He had a massive moment heading down to turn number 2. Next one will be Cookie to begin his, you'd say, final flying lap, but there may be a chance for him to pop into the pit lane if he messes that lap up. Or has he got enough fuel? 2.8 laps, so he would have enough if he did mess this one up to go for another lap. That's what I believe everyone's plans are. He's in non, right up to the line. Very interesting strategy from the Red Bull driver, being in non-ERS mode until the start-finish line. As we'll watch Cookie now store himself through Sector 1. As you can see, the rear wing on that Red Bull is very much wide open, heading down into turn number 4. And just about keeps it within the lines, and it's saying purple Sector 1, as the track will definitely be improving here around Interlagos. And we're going to watch the Red Bull driver head through the middle sector now, through the tricky corners of turns 8 and 9, as he now heads down into turn 10. Again, tricky braking zone, the right-hander there, then it's flat-out left-hander, heading into the final sector, and then the final proper corner of this track, turn 12, as he just about keeps it in the lines, but he does make an error. And will that cost him pole position? 3 minutes to go of the session. He will continue the lap. He will not continue the lap. He boxes. So Cookie in the pit lane. And we'll see what happens with him. Does he have enough time to go back out? I believe he will do, but it will be tight. And that's suboptimal, absolutely suboptimal for the Red Bull driver who wanted to perfect that one. The next driver to cross the line on a representative lap, Rubinho in the Alpine, heading down into turn number 12. And through turn 13, I'm not sure why that's classified as a turn, it's a little left-hand kink. As we'll see the Alpine driver cross the line very shortly. Is he going to jump the lanky one? Is he going to jump F1 Mallard? Is he going to jump any of them? The answer to that is very much no. He stays down in 8th place with a slight improvement. The Kick Sauber of Ultra Titan begins his first flying lap, his final flying lap, shall I say, of the session. The next driver on a representative lap is not going to be crossing the line just yet, as it's JG beginning his final run. As no, he's actually going to box. And there's not going to be enough time for another run for him, so that's only P3 at most for the McLaren driver. And anybody else on a representative one, it's Supply Raptor, and we got the lanky one who's just, I think he's just finished a lap. Do you know, maybe, yeah, I think he has just finished a lap there. He is P7 for now, as we got another Mercedes crossing line, Supply Raptor, to begin his final run as well. Actually, was it? Yeah, I think he is, yeah. It definitely is his final run. As we're on board with the current man, who is on provisional pole, the Mercedes driver of Supply Raptor, the American. The ideal for Ollie J, though, is he's on an outlap for him to be closer to Cookie. Even just behind will do. But, yeah, hopefully... and he's got to pray that Cookie somehow bins it from this race. But yeah, we will see. We'll see. If he wants to win the title here, that's what's going to have to happen. Otherwise, he will not be winning the title here at Interlagos. Supply Raptor saying purple through the middle sector. We're going to keep on board with the Mercedes driver. As you can see, the rear wing has been opened very much wide open as he improved by another 10th and a half. It's a 107, 101. We're going to get Ultra Titan. He's on a lap. Ollie J's just started his lap. We'll keep an eye on him. The next driver to cross the line will be an Alpine who's invalidated and spins. Does Grabinho. It's going to be the Kick Sauber of Ultra Titan. 300ths up in the first sector, apparently. Says the game. So he is improving as it stands. Is it going to be enough to beat JG, who is not going to improve his time, or even Cookie and Supply Raptor are completely in another league, as it looks? But we're going to keep an eye on the Kick Sauber, as he's absolutely deploying the battery, and the rear wing also opens widely. Crossing the line now. It's a 108.064. It's only 300ths of an improvement, unfortunately, for Ultra Titan. P4 at best for him. The Mercedes of Lanky One pits. Alpine Grabinho also pits. Then we've got Cookie, who's a 10th and a half down in the middle sector. Does he claw it back? No, he doesn't. He's 2.5 tenths down. Supply Raptor on provisional pole, unless anybody else can beat it. F1 Mallard and Ollie J have invalidated. Ollie J is going to be P5 as it stands. Is Tycler going to improve? No, he's not. That's your order, ladies and gents, and it's Supply Raptor who is on pole position here in Interlagos. Cookie taking second position, and Ollie J, 3 positions separate himself and Cookie. And not a bad qualifying session, but it was quite close in terms of the mid-pack. As you can see, Ultra Titan, Ollie J, F1 Mallard, the Lanky One, Grabinho, they're all in the 108s, even Tycler. They are all in the 108s. They are quite close to each other. I'm sure some of them will be able to stay within DRS of each other. But it is Supply Raptor. He is on pole position for the Brazilian Sao Paulo Grand Prix here today. If anyone's in the stream as well, if you could confirm the sound is alright. I haven't been able to check myself. That'd be ideal. We're being told also, do not ready up early, Arrow, as this happened in the last race. I believe he was penalised, unfortunately, in his own league. He did ready up early by accident. Obviously, you've got to take the punishment if you do ready up early, even if it is an accidental ready. But yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't be too pleased with himself for that one, and he will ensure he doesn't do that one again anytime soon. And it's wet. It is intermediate conditions here at Interlagos, and that's a shock to me that I haven't heard of this one at all. So it is wet. Let's see how this will affect the drivers then. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. As we are waiting for the drivers, as they will not be readying up until the designated time. Five red lights, it is intermediate conditions. We are underway here at Interlagos as we're going to keep an eye on Supply Raptor, who's in the lead, but he's lost it immediately. We're going to get the tyres on the screen. As you can see, the intermediate is the one-off choice. Side by side now go Supply Raptor and JG, but Supply Raptor stays ahead. But he's had an absolute horrible start. 7/10 of a second already separate Supply Raptor and Cookie. 8/10 now as Arrow is looking to build up on his teammate here and try and make a move stick. We're going to keep an eye on that one as he does swoop past the Irishman into P9 as he's looking to get Garbino, who's so slow at the moment. And we're going to keep an eye on that one. Yes, we can quickly get the lap data enabled and all of that. Absolutely lovely stuff as Arrow going side by side with Garbino does make the move stick, but they have lost a significant chunk of time to the lanky one and those ahead. Hopefully Arrow, for his own sake, can go and gain as they see the possible strategies. Intermediate, 2 intermediate tyres unless the weather does decide to dry up by the end of the session. We'll keep an eye on that as Supply Raptor already now a second down on Cookie. But he is 8/10 crucially ahead of JG, so he's not going to be under pressure too much from the car behind. So he's just got to focus on the car in front. As you can see, the overtake button is being enabled for both drivers down the start-finish straight. As Cookie, obviously, being the first ones across the line, sets the fastest lap 1:21 or 1:80. That will be clearly beaten next lap by one of the drivers. But we're going to keep an eye on all of these guys. As you can see, P9 and below have dropped back. We're going to keep an eye on that battle for P9. As you can see, it's a three-car train. As you can see, look, Godzilla going a bit wide there. Down into turns 3 and now heading down into turn 4. Yeah, so everyone between it that second. JG's lost touch just a minute ago with Supply Raptor. Ollie, they've pretty much, the top 5 are losing touch with each other. Ultra Titan the closest, 8/10 now, now 9 even to JG. Ollie J 1.1, 1.2, it was a minute ago to his teammate. Behind him being pressured now by F1 Mallard, actually, in P6 in the Williams. But everyone about second, there's F1 Mallard going onto the grass. As soon as we start talking about him, he went onto the grass. That's not going to help if you go onto the grass. That is not what you want to be doing here around Interlagos. As you can see, we'll keep an eye on the rear wing of the Williams. He's not going to get overtaken from the Mercedes or the lanky one this time out. He is having a bit of a sniff on the gearbox of the Williams, but obviously overtake button being enabled and utilised by the Williams driver to ensure that does not happen. But as you can see, looks like the lanky one may have lower wings or something of the sort than the Williams. As you can see, he's getting a lovely run every single time you see them down the straights. As you can see, we'll keep an eye on the lanky one, as this is the closest battle. It's for P5 on track here, as we got a 4-car train. Actually, nearly a 5-car one, but it is a 4-car one as it stands, as Ollie J has just lost touch to his teammate. But it could be a 5-car one, as you can see, Ultra Titan made a bit of an error. And it looks like it will now kind of be a 5-car train. See what Arrow is just having a little sniff in the background, waiting for any carnage or anything to happen for him to capitalise on any free positions ahead. But obviously not easy to overtake on track in these conditions. But as you can see, intermediate tyres for everybody. And we're going to go off the tyre graphic now, as it is clearly raining, and intermediates for all the drivers. No wet tyres, obviously it's not wet enough for that. No dry tyres either, because it is raining and it's not going to be dry enough. For that, it's a massive moment for Arrow on the exit. Thankfully, for his sake, didn't lose the car enough to bin it. As look, he's got the overtake button enabled. He's going to have a little look at the Mercedes. Is he going to get it done? Well, look at the rear wing of the Mercedes drive. He's not going to get it done. I believe with lower wings, the Mercedes just stays ahead there without any overtake usage. As Arrow going for a better exit there into turn number 3. Still using the overtake button. He's still trying to get the Mercedes driver, but is he going to be close enough? No, he's just used all of that overtake. But the lanky one, without even using overtake, is easily staying ahead. But Arrow, look at him, he's getting all racy up the gearbox now, the lanky one. Is he going to make the move stick at any point in this this session? On lap 4 we are now, and definitely going to be keeping a very close eye on this lovely battle for P5 from P8, as Tyclip 5 seconds back, almost in his own race there. As Grabino also lost touch, but it's Pod and Grabino for P10. It's the fight for a point in WHF. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that battle for P5. Heating up a little bit, as the lanky one must have gone wide. And we're going to keep an eye on the telemetry. Overtake button wasn't even enabled there by the lanky one. He just let Arrow pass. He's going to continue to use the overtake button. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on the lanky one. And Godzilla also making a move for P10. He's going to use the overtake button. See what happens you can do here. Heading down into turn number 1. And it is definitely Pod's position. Mallard using a bit of his overtake button there. Trying to fight as Ollie J has completely lost touch with his teammate now. He is in P5 and Ultra Titan P4. Trying to hunt down the McLaren driver of JG for that final spot on the podium. F1 Mallard again, he's a little bit, it's broken away a little bit from Arrow, but that's gonna The gap's going to come right back down as he's not going to be able to make any progress against Ollie J for now. And lovely 4-car train there for P5. It is going to be the highlight of the race, but Supply Raptor has closed up to Cookie. It's now a second, now it's under a second. The gap between them was about 2 seconds at one point, and now they are both enabling the overtake button, but they are now within a second of each other. That is huge. Come the end of the race, at least, if they manage to stay together. As you can see, Supply Raptor with the fastest lap of the session, 1:16.523. Definitely something to keep an eye on as Supply Raptor is right back in this. As there we go, F1 Mallard sends it on Ollie J, and that invites Arrow to have a little sniff down the inside. We're going to go back on board with a helicopter view. Arrow couldn't make it stick, unfortunately for him, but Mallard gets ahead of Ollie J. Lanky One's having a little sniff down the inside, maybe, but he doesn't opt for it on WHF Arrow. But as you can see, Mallard takes the lead of the train anyway. P5 for him. Ollie J follows closely behind. Then it's Arrow who's depleted the majority of his battery. Then it's the Lanky One. Arrow having a little look as Ollie J goes a little bit wide and has a bit of a moment. Little possible send opportunity there. Heading through the tight middle sector. It's not going to work for the Ferrari. Is he going to be able to do it down and send it down this dive bomb possibility of a turn? But he doesn't do it. And he sticks behind for now. But as you can see, Ollie J has the battery. 100% ERS. The maximum amount you can have. As again, Arrow getting a bit feisty, but if Ollie uses his overtake button, I'm sure he will be fine. Supply Raptor, another fastest lap of the session. We'll keep an eye on him against Cookie for the race win, as he's getting racy as well on lap 7 of this race. Ollie J has pit as it's drying up here. We're going to get the tyre graphics on, the Lanky One in as well. As you can see, it's very dry visibly on your screen. It had stopped raining, I did forget to mention. As Ollie J is the first one to pull the undercut. He's gone on to the hard compound of tyre. A bit of a delay in the pit stop though. I think that was a bit of desync or lag anyway on my end. But as you can see, Ollie J is exiting the pit lane. Look at how slippery it is on pit exit though. We're going to keep an eye on Ollie J. As see what these tyres are going to be like. Freezing hard compound tyres as he flies through this Interlagos track. We're going to keep an eye on the gap to the leader on the hard tyres. DRS is now enabled as well. Has Ollie absolutely just flew here as Cookie's in. Supply Raptor has stayed out phenomenally. Supply Raptor, when DRS has been enabled, has stayed out on the intermediates. That's going to cost the Mercedes driver, I've got to say. As, yeah, Ollie J to the leader. Arrow gets a 10-second time penalty. Speeding in the pit lane, he's not going to get that taken off, because that's clearly legitimate. For speeding in the pit lane, Ollie J now getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits, as he's struggling on them cold, hard compound tyres. Yeah, as you can see, many drivers having a bit of trouble here. Ollie J, is he going to pull an undercut on the drivers ahead? I don't think he is, to be honest with you. As you can see, keep the gap to the leader on for now. As we take it off. As yeah, he's not pulled that undercut, unfortunately, for the Pixar. He's actually ended up losing. But yeah, he's actually ended up losing the places to Arrow. I think he had lost it to Mallard anyway, but definitely lost one to WHF Arrow, which is unfortunate for him. Supply Raptor has made, I think, the biggest mistake ever, not pitting when DRS was enabled. He stayed out again! Could you believe it? On a bone dry track, the Mercedes of Supply Raptor has decided, no, I want to stay out on this track. And, yeah, there we go. Not sure what to think about that one, but we will keep an eye on Supply Raptor and see if he's unfortunately messed that strategy up as he heads now into turn 4 on the intermediate compound of tyre. Is the only one apart from obviously Crapino also on the inters to be on the inters, and everybody else on the slick compound, everybody on the hards except the Lanky One who's opted for the medium compound tyres and does actually set the fastest lap of the session as well. And in goes Grabinho from the Inters to the slicks, which is definitely a bit too late for the Alpine driver. We're going to keep an eye on Supply Raptor and see if he decides to make a pit stop. Before we do that, it's Ollie J and Arrow going side by side. Arrow keeps the position, goes off track. Now it's side by side between the two. Who's going to come out on top? We're going to get the tyre graphic out off screen so we can see what's going on here. Ollie J maintains the position. He lost it and then retook the position back from the Ferrari. As we go back to the tyre graphics, and now in comes Supply Raptor after he's lost time. And it's the least of ideal scenarios for the Mercedes driver, you got to say. He has pit too late, but we'll see where he comes out in comparison to Cookie. Unfortunately, I've got to suspect he will be behind the Red Bull driver. Yeah, as you can see, look, here comes Cookie. We've got on board with Cookie setting the fastest lap of the session as well. As we can watch Cookie fly through. As you can see, the Mercedes, actually, the Mercedes is coming out of the pit lane. Is he going to be ahead or not? No, he's just going to be behind. But he's going to come out within DRS range. No, is he? Yes, he is. But look at the battery level for both drivers. On the cold hards, you suspect Raptor is going to have a bit of trouble trying to stick with Cookie through the middle sector, unfortunately. But to be fair, Supply Raptor did not lose much time at all there, pitting 2 laps later. That may help him come the end of the race, as Codzilla picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Obviously, something you can do around here. I mean, it's not as common as other tracks, but it's definitely something you can do. As we are on lap 10 now out of 36 of this race. We'll stay on board with Cookie for now. We'll see what he can do now as he heads down towards the start-finish straight and is 1.4 seconds clear of Supply Raptor, who will not be enabling the DRS or activating the DRS, and his rear wing will not open on this lap. As Cookie sets the fastest lap again, 1:12.518 for him. We're going to go back to the fight for P5 though. As you can see, the DRS is wide open on the rear of the Kick Sauber of Ollie J's car. He's going to enable the overtake button. And here, down the inside, goes Ollie J. They're now side by side out of turn 1. It's a very clean move there from Ollie J. He makes the pass on F1 Mallard. But is F1 Mallard going to fly him back into turn 4? That, yes, overtake has been enabled and DRS. For F1 Mallard, down the inside we go into turn 4. It's side by side, there's contact, and F1 Mallard goes spinning. Down to P8 we go with F1 Mallard. That will be investigated by the stewards. And Ollie J also down to P7. That's huge. And you can see Codzilla sends one down the inside of Taika and makes the move stick. So that's very interesting. The stewards will be looking at that one. I think Mallard may just stick with the train, but Ollie definitely has. But definitely something that he just lets him by, yeah. So he confirms he believes he's out. He gives the position back, but will that still be reported by F1 Mallard? But you've got to say, very well done from Ollie J, giving the position back. He didn't have to do that. Obviously felt that he wanted to do that, and it may just overtake him anyway. As we're on board with Ollie J, all over the rear end of the Williams driver, going to enable the DRS at the rear of the car, and he's also going to round the outside of F1 Mallard, who just sees him fly past. And he's not even going to fight it into turn 1. Ollie J goes, and he's lost touch, unfortunately, because of having to let Mallard through, of the lanky one. And Arrow, talking of the lanky one, he goes round, down the inside there, on WHF Arrow. In the Mercedes, he's on the medium tyres, which will be the better one for now, but it definitely will not be the better tyre later, as the hard compound will be superior. And lap 12 out of 36, we are 1/3 of the way through this Brazilian Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Supply Raptor has got himself within DRS range of Cookie, and is he going to get the move? As you can see, Cookie is not really fighting it there as we go round, down past the start-finish straight. Down start-finish straight we go. Supply Raptor sets the fast lap 1:10.113 and overtakes Cookie. So we'll keep an eye on this battle for the lead as Cookie and Supply Raptor battling it out now here at Interlagos. The DRS enabled for Cookie and the Red Bull. And into turn 4, he's just saving the battery and maybe a little bit of fuel. As you can see, look, plus 1.7. So Cookie definitely saving a little bit of fuel. We can't see the Mercedes fuel. But definitely the Red Bull, saving a little bit of fuel. You can see the lifts offs. You can see, look, the way Cookie's lifting. Watch the accelerator through some of the corners. You'll see the throttle is not being utilised as much as it could be. But definitely fuel-saving measures in place for the Red Bull driver. And 10 seconds ahead of the next car are the leaders here. And DRS will be enabled for the Red Bull driver here. As you can see, purple middle sector of a Raptor. He's on hot lap mode. And Cookie is... yeah, there we go. Look at that. Absolutely insane liftoff. He is fuel saving. So that's very interesting to keep an eye on. Cookie fuel saving. He doesn't think he'll make it to the end of the race if he continues with the fuel like that. But he is just sat in DRS, fuel saving against his... with his rival, I guess. But yeah, he doesn't need to fuel save, I don't think. But definitely Cookie is. So very interesting indeed. As we'll go on board with Arrows. He's very close. Going for a move on the lanky one. We're going to go on board the lanky one now and see what it looks like from his perspective. And he flies past. Yeah, he did fly past. But now he doesn't. The lanky one. A rough time under braking there. Loses the place. And Arrow now closing up on Ultra Titan. Heading to P4 now. So it could be a train all the way down from P8 up to P4 here at Interlagos. It's very close, 1.4 seconds. Unfortunately, I don't think that will catch us. There's somebody off track. It's Grabinho, who has a massive problem. He's now in neutral. Into turn 1, he had a problem. We're going to keep staying on board with Grabinho just to make sure he's okay. But he's going to be lapped by the leaders very shortly. And, yeah, unfortunately for him, he has to get up and get going. But he is going to be lapped by the leaders shortly. This may help Cookie actually get DRS of a lapped car. As you can see, the lanky one nearly making contact with Ollie J. Ollie J makes the move as he also stays just behind Arrow. Lanky one having a little look down the inside. He's not going to make that one work at all. We're going to keep an eye on Cookie though. Closing in on that lapped car. Oh, we nearly went onto the grass there, but we're going to keep an eye on Ollie J now. Trying it round the outside. Now we can see the lanky one's perspective. And you can see on the helicopter cam, yeah, Ollie J just makes the move stick. But look at this. We'll keep on board with Ollie J because he's going to get into DRS range possibly of his teammate here. 1.1 seconds is all that separates himself and his teammate. Both with penalties. Actually, keep an eye on those penalties. 3 seconds for Ultra Titan. It's 3 seconds for Ollie J as well. 10 seconds for Arrow for speeding in the pit lane infringement. Obviously, that would help if there's a safety car for him to get rid of that. And, Supply Raptor nearly getting dropped there. Cuts the corner. Does he get dropped? Well, he's out of DRS for now. Which is not ideal for the two Americans up front. It's ideal for Cookie, but not ideal at all for Supply Raptor. But she should easily get back in there as Cookie is using his fuel-saving measures, definitely, for the time being. But there's a massive fight now as Ultra Titan has been dragged into this now 5-car battle to P4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4th to 8th position now. All fighting for the same place, and obviously on track there could be different outcomes off track. Obviously with Arrow getting his 10-second penalty, Ollie J, Ultra Titan with their 3 seconds. The lanky one might just want to sit behind on the mediums. They will drop off soon. Definitely interesting to keep an eye out on. Definitely ideal for Cookie, who's just going to lose the lead of the race, but watch this fuel saving. See how early he went off the throttle there. He's absolutely saving fuel all over the gaff. 109 at 8:07 fastest lap. I think that was for Supply Raptor. Yeah, it was 109 8:07. But as you can see, Cookie is going to be fuel saving again. Yeah, there it is. Let's keep an eye on this though, as Supply Raptor is catching the back marker of Grabinho. There's contact and tie clear with Podzilla, I believe, and tie clear is now away from the pack a little bit. He stays out on track and continues on his way. Ollie J and Ultra Titan swap positions. The two Kick Salvers hopefully work together for their own sake. And on lap 17 here, now nearly halfway through this race, as the lanky one and F1 Mallard swap positions. I think the lanky one with their mediums definitely dropping off now. 10 laps on their medium compound tyres. As you can see, the hards definitely the tyre to the end of the race from here. The lanky one will either have to stop again or suffer absolutely massively come the end of the race. And Cookie still within DRS range. He used all his batteries, so Supply Raptor. The DRS will be enabled for the Red Bull. Look at this fuel saving. Is he going to do it again? No, he's not. I don't think he's able to do it again with the gap being so, well, about 6/10. It's a bit of a risk if you want to try that again. As this Ultra Titan and Ollie J fighting with each other. I'm not sure that's what they want to do. As if you keep an eye on the rear end of Ollie J's car, is Ultra Titan going to make the move? No, he's not. You can see Arrow braking late, gaining some time. F1 Mallard follows closely behind, and then the lanky one who's just about staying in DRS range, but just about. We'll keep the onboard with Ollie J, the lead car of the fight for P4. We'll keep an eye, obviously, with the leaders there, just swapping now, and Cookie saving fuel as well. You'll see again, look, watch this Cookie. We'll watch Cookie, and we'll see what he does with the throttle. Watch the throttle in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. It's huge fuel saving for the Red Bull driver, so very interesting. But yeah, Ollie J in P4. Let's see what he can do with his penalty, but everybody around him has penalties as well. It's only the lanky one that's not got a penalty below in that mid-pack, but obviously he's on the medium, so, you know, at the end of the race he probably won't be in contact with these lot, but we will find out. Yeah, Ollie J P4, as Zampa subscribes to WHF with a tier 1 subscription for 6 months, so thank you very much for that one. As Ollie J in P4 and Cookie still behind Supply Raptor, so it's a fight for P1 with 2 cars and a fight for P4 with 5 cars, but now it's going to drop to 4 cars as P8. The lanky one, actually maybe not, because he has gained a bit more time. It may drop to 4 cars, it may remain as 5 cars, who knows. As you can see, their mediums are definitely dropping off now with the lanky one. Keep an eye on Cookie. He's going to be fuel saving once again down into turn 1. And there's a yellow flag. It's going to be Podzilla in the RB. We've seen a couple of incidents like this, where it's just been a bit of a moment or a spin, and then no safety cars have resulted or any damage. So that's very much ideal for them, but obviously not ideal that they've spun in the first place. As you can see, the lanky one, as expected, actually does enter the pit lane because their mediums were going off. But we can see what he can do. Go on the hard compound tyre. He'll have a 12-lap tyre advantage to the majority of the field, but that gap between him and the rest will maybe too much in 16 laps for him to catch. But we'll see what will happen come the end of the race, as there's 16 laps remaining of the 36-lap Grand Prix. As you can see, the lanky one exits the pit lane now, just stays ahead of Ty Clear, and comes out in his position of P8, which is literally where he was anyway. As I say, Cookie's Supply Raptor. We'll watch Cookie again, still saving fuel in the Red Bull. And there's just Supply Raptor spins into turn 1. Thankfully for him, it's not that major, and he just keeps it on track, but he does lose a heap of time. He loses a second to Cookie. It was Supply Raptor leading this race comfortably. And we'll watch Cookie. Is he going to fuel save now? Absolutely not. He's now hammering it down to stay out of DRS of Supply Raptor and absolutely run away with the win. We'll keep it on board with Cookie. As you can see, now he's flying. No fuel saving involved here. And he hits the grass. Maybe hits the grass. He definitely lost time. You can see 1.4 seconds is now the gap between the two. But wow, that's a wake-up call for both of them, as they were all calm and chilling there. But all of a sudden, Supply Raptor has a moment and spins into turn 1. Ollie J, Ultra Titan, has gone off track. It's something that happened between them four. And he's lost a heap of positions, has Ultra Titan. We'll see if the stewards are going to listen to that one. But all in the space of a lap, absolute carnage has ensued at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And Godzilla's retired in the pit lane. I thought he was on track for a moment. Thankfully, for the sake of the drivers, he didn't. As we can see, Ultra Titan has lost the DRS. Maybe. I think he has, yeah. Because of that moment. Godzilla has left the session because of that. F1 Mallard trying it round the outside. He hits the grass. You do not want to do that here. And you can see he lost a heap of traction heading into turn number 2. Lap 22 now out of 36. It's all getting a bit racy between everybody. As you can see, Supply Raptor straight back into the DRS of Cookie. No messing about, even with a mistake. He is back. And the double American duo, well, they're not a duo, but the double American winning duo, should I say, are back. And, yeah, definitely here for the 36 laps of this race. Only 14 laps now to go. They've done the majority of the work, and they just have to keep it clean now, heading towards 2/3 of the distance of this race. As you can see, it's Supply Raptor 4/10 now between himself and Cookie. Battery very similar, and it's very high, and he's not even going to try and overtake Cookie here. And they're 17 seconds clear of the next car, which is JG heading into turn 3, whereas the leaders are into turns 5 and 6, as Cookie now leads the way in WHF, as Ollie is in P4, and it is the mighty battle for P4, and it's only now between 3 cars as Ultra Titan, with that error or something happening there, which we didn't catch on stream unfortunately, has reduced it to a 3-car train from a 5-car train to begin with, which that was very cool to see. But yeah, we'll see what Ollie can do with his penalty. Arrow, obviously, with that 10-second time penalty is literally just fighting on track for fun almost. But as you can see, Cookie is passed by Raptor. But as expected, as they're just going to be swapping, and swapping. Oh, bit of overtake. It's going to be enabled for Cookie, but nothing doing there. And Ollie J is heading now into turn number 3. Arrow behind, and F1 Mallard behind him. They are just stuck together for the majority of this race. And 2/3 distance we have hit, and another 1/3 to go. It's not as well, we've done 2/3, so 2 portions. Imagine you've done 2 portions of a race, and you only have 1 to go. So yeah, definitely optimistic for them. They've done 2 of them. They can do another one. And they are fighting for P4 now. And don't think the Lanky won. And as soon as I start talking about another driver, Ultra Titan has once again, that's definitely on his own this time, picked up some sort of error there that's chucked him off track. He pummels down the order. He's not lost any positions, but he has lost a heap of time. 5 seconds now between himself and F1 Mallard. It's definitely not ideal for the Kick Sauber driver. I'm not sure what occurred for him to lose this much time or have these many errors, or what his tyres are feeling. I'm not sure what has definitely caused this, but he's now into the pit lane because of that. So maybe he thinks, well, I'm going to get the lanky one, I'm going to overtake him if I'm not ahead of him, and I have a chance to get the fastest lap of the race. Maybe that's his thinking, but he's going to definitely go on to test medium tyres or a soft compound tyre. What's he going to choose? He's going to choose the medium compound of tyre. And he won't be ahead of the lanky one for sure, but will be ahead of Ty Clear. Definitely, that is for sure. Just ahead of Ty Clear anyway. Definitely is ahead of the Ferrari driver. And P8 it is for Ultra Titan as it stands, but he should be P7 if he gets a move on and overtakes the lanky one. But watch that one very closely over the next few laps. Raptor in the lead into turn 1, into turn number 2 as well. Just ahead of Cookie. 30% battery for him, 54% it is though for Cookie. They have used a little bit between each other. As you can see, again, fuel saving, major fuel saving for Cookie. Clearly didn't put enough fuel because there's no safety cars, which meant, yeah, if you fuel for a safety car, then you have to save some eventually. But yeah, there usually is a safety car. It's a big snap for Cookie. Them tyres are 18 laps old now. 10 laps to go. They will be 28 laps old come the end of this race. So yeah, definitely need to save the tyres, be careful, and, you know, definitely think about what you're doing. As, yeah, we keep an eye on the leaders here. And we'll see Cookie. He's going to be just within DRS range of Raptor, and he's just saving his fuel, saving the battery, and they're going to be battling out for the win on the final lap. I tell you now, the final lap is going to be a spectacle for us to watch between all of these drivers, who are going to be absolutely dumping the battery that they haven't used and saved for the final lap. 9 laps to go in this race now. As you can see, tyre wear, and definitely going to be brutal come the end of the race. And closest gaps are between Cookie and Raptor, Ollie J, Arrow and Mallard. They're all stuck together. Yeah, very well since the start of the race. I would have loved to have been in this race, but I'm commentating, doing the duties for WHF. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a commentator, and we'd be all crying. Mallard had a little look as Ultra Titan picks up another 3-second time penalty. Not ideal for the kick Sauber. We'll check the fastest laps of the race. Ultra Titan 109.817. So whatever he was trying to do, clearly didn't work out for him. If he went for the fastest lap, he didn't get it by 0.2 of a second. DRS will be enabled for F1 Mallard here. We're going to take the tyres off our screen as they're not needed anymore. As Arrow had a little sneak suspicion down the inside. It had a little look, and it didn't manage to turn into anything there. There's Arrow heading down into turn 4 now. Cookie just staying in DRS after all that fuel saving. Definitely wants to make sure he stays in. As you see, Raptor's used most of his battery, so Cookie should be okay. A little bit of a moment though on the exit. He's got to use the battery to stay within DRS range. You can see Supply Raptor tries doing the same but runs out. Yeah. Oh, Cookie boxes! What? 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 Am I going crazy? Cookie has just boxed for no reason. Did Cookie just think that he wasn't going to win the race, so just decided to go for the fastest lap? I am so confused. And, yeah, Cookie boxes for the fastest lap, I guess. I mean, it makes absolutely zero sense. He may be overtaken by JG here as well. What am I watching? Why has Cookie went into the pit lane? Cookie comes out of the pit lane, and he's side by side with JG on the exit, and comes out behind. Well, that's happened. And here comes Cookie now on JG. Obviously, the tyres are 21 lap difference and soft compound tyre. You will see Cookie absolutely pull away here. Just watch this space. Cookie's going to fly through the middle sector. Already, there's going to be a second between the two. The grip difference will be absolutely huge now. Absolutely huge. 21 lap difference in those tyres. Supply Raptor also pits. What are we seeing? Supply Raptor decides, yeah, I'm going to pit as well. Why not? As he puts on the soft compound tyres, he'll definitely come up behind Cookie. What is this? We'll go on board Cookie. Got a free DRS off a lapped car. and we'll see if he comes out ahead of Raptor or not. It's actually going to be very close. We're going to watch the helicopter view as we can see Supply Raptor exiting the pit lane. No way is Supply Raptor going to do this again and pull the overcut. It's side by side on pit exit. They're side by side. Raptor backs off with non-ERS mode, but they're still together on the soft compound tyre. They're like, do you know what? I want more grip now, so I'm going to get more grip and just box for the soft. And Raptor was like, sure, I'll do the same. Why not? But very odd to see. They both pit the softs to the leaders, and yeah, very organised between the pair. See, Supply Raptor just sticks in DRS of Cookie, and it's Cookie strained his battery to do that. It's not ideal for the Rebel, but he did go for the fastest lap, and he did get it with a 1:08.738. But we'll see if Supply Raptor can get a fastest lap of his own, or is Cookie going to stop him by defending? And we'll see what happens here. I think he's going to go for the move, but he's not going to. Yeah, he's not going to get it easily, and that's definitely going to hinder his attempt at the fastest lap. We'll see if he gets it anyway, and. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that massive snap for Supply Raptor. Cookie's going to be all over him, annoying him as he tries to get the fastest lap off of him. As it's so tense for the battle for the lead that we cannot be watching the battle for P4, as it's now only 2 cars, as F1 Mallard drops a second and a half off Arrow and Ollie. 23 and 24 lap old hard tyres are going to be screaming with 5 laps to go. I've accidentally taken a screenshot and paused the race, unfortunately. This Cookie is 8/10 of a second behind Supply Raptor, and will just stay with his fellow American. Yeah, 10% battery for him, 10% for Raptor. So yeah, definitely, as Raptor does take it. Yeah, Raptor takes the fastest lap again. So Cookie boxed for no reason, so do Raptor. So yeah. Well, I guess Raptor boxed, he wanted the extra point as well, so he's like, well, actually, if Cookie's going to do that, I want my extra point for the fastest lap as well. But it has also put him in a risk where Cookie could get him back and he would lose the lead and lose the points for the win anyway. But we'll definitely see what occurs come the end of the race, which is very shortly, 5 laps to go of the session. And Zampa with the 1 bit. Here. For the WHF Twitch, very much appreciated, even though it's literally not going to me, so fabulous. Arrow's going to put it in his back pocket, as we know, with a 10-second penalty. That's being a bit of a fraud. Unfortunately, FIA said Arrow is a fraud. Confirmed. In P5, 7/10 between himself and Ollie J. Using a little bit of his battery to stay within touching range against Titan. Had a bit of a moment there. He's still in P8. He's not having a good time. Cookie overtakes Supply Raptor on the DRS straight. 33 out of 36 laps. So there's 3 laps remaining now. As we watch the leaders fight for the win here in Interlagos. Absolutely brilliant showing from the pair. And it's just been them two all race. It's been really good to see as well. The 2 drivers up front battling for the win. Arrow W, says Zampa. Do you know what? I think he can do it from P5. He's only 9.5 seconds off the lead, and he's only got a 10-second time penalty. So about 20 seconds off the lead, if you count that all in. Definitely got a nice chance with 3 laps to go to win this race. Just the Ferrari driver is absolutely phenomenal. Is he going to dive it down the inside of Ollie? No, he doesn't. He stays behind for now. Keep on board with Cookie, our race leader, as he heads down the start-finish straight. Heading now onto lap number 34 out of 36. Down into turn 1. And takes that very nicely indeed. With 3 laps, including this one, to go of the race. Supply Raptor saving his battery. He's got 100% in the tank as it stands. With Cookie in medium. He's also got battery, so interesting to see Raptor stay in non. Stay on board with Supply Raptor. We're going to take the tyres off the screen once again. As we can see, there's a yellow flag, and that's Titan again. I'm not sure what's happened with the Kick Sauber, but he's just having an absolute nightmare this race, unfortunately for him. But he does stay P8 as well for now. As Cookie is going to cross the line to start the penultimate lap of this race. Actually, no, this is not the penultimate lap. Is it the penultimate lap? Yeah, it is the penultimate lap of this race. Why did I question myself? It's the penultimate lap of this race. Cookie in P1 as it stands. As Supply Raptor went had a bit of a wide line there. Interesting. Not sure if that's tactical or what. He's got the railing open. We'll keep an eye on the two drivers out in front. Cookie 7/10 or 6/10 now ahead, and both of them with a nice full battery. We know what that means. Come the end of the race, this Cookie drifts and flies into every single corner. It's lovely to see, but it's absolutely ridiculous. As we head now into the final couple of corners of the lap, we will be beginning the final lap very shortly, as we're going to keep an eye on the gap to see. I think Rubinho was lapped, maybe. Yeah, he was. Tyclear was not lapped, so he will be the next one if anyone gets lapped. But here comes Supply Raptor on the final lap of this race, takes the lead of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Ultra Titan with another 3-second penalty. Cookie has a little sniff down the inside, but doesn't make it work. Now, down into turn 4 is another overtaking opportunity. ERS enabled here. Is he going to plan saving it for the start-finish straight? He's not going to for now. We're going to keep an eye on this. This Cookie wants to be very, very close to Supply Raptor for the final straight and see if he can make a move to win the race here on the final lap. Will Cookie do it? Will Supply Raptor do it? We're going to keep an eye on their ERS levels. Basically the same. They're both into non for obvious reasons. Save the battery for the final finish straight. As it is Ultra Titan going to be crossing the line to begin his final lap. He's quite far down the order now. And here we go. Cookie is too far back. Yeah, he is. You think he's too far back? We're going to go on board with the rear of Supply Raptor. Yeah, he's too far back. Is Cookie 7/10. It's going to be Supply Raptor in the Mercedes. He crosses the line now. He's going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. And Cookie follows closely behind. It's also the fastest lap for the Mercedes driver. A brilliant showing from him. He was very bold to pit as well after Cookie pit for the fastest lap. And he did so as JG comes home to finish P3. Ollie P4, Arrow P5 with the penalty. Stays P5, I believe. Yeah, just stays P5. Mallard also had a 10-second penalty as the lanky one comes across the line. Rubinho already crossing the line after being lapped. The lanky one in P7. Ultra Titan will be P8. Tyclear in P9. And that was a race, and it's Supply Raptor. He's going to have the bragging rights in Brazil here tonight. It's P1 for him. Cookie closely behind. JG also silently having a great race. He was on his own for the majority of it, so I assume it wasn't the easiest of races for him, but very well done. 10 seconds back from the duo ahead. Finishes on the podium as the McLaren driver, and that is your lot here in Brazil. And there's your podium. It is Supply Raptor who wins the race, followed by Cookie and then JG who finishes the podium positions. And there's your lot. 2 stops for the top 2. as they had the gap, and they did it. Arrow is actually P5 with that 10-second penalty, so not the end of the world for him. He would have finished there anyway. As you can see, here you can see the tyres. Inters to hards the majority, and obviously softs at the end for the top two. Here's the race director for anyone who's interested in that. Pit stops as well. And there is your lot. And thank you for having me, WHF. And it's been a pleasure commentating today for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, round 13. And we will be back for the finale next week in Abu Dhabi. It's the 13th of October. Be there or be square. It's for the championship. Yeah, we'll be back for the finale, guys. And yeah, thank you very much for having me, and goodbye.